Here is the truth. If you think that dating apps are built to help you, you've already been played. Modern dating is completely broken. Like, no matter how much you swipe, genuine connections are simply not there. That's not a coincidence. That is by design. Do you think that all of these dating apps actually want you to find the one and then you never pay them anymore? If you were the managing board of a dating app or the CEO of a dating app, would you want returning customers or one-time customers? Because if these dating apps worked, you would use one, find somebody, and then never use the app again. Has that been your experience? That's not the case. Here's why. That's bad for business. These platforms are not matchmaking services. They're addiction machine. Now, don't get me wrong. In the beginning, when you used to have Yahoo Personals and eHarmony and all of that stuff, their purpose was actually to do that, to help you find somebody that you can connect with. But what they have done in the past decade is they have hijacked your psychology, fed you false hope, and trapped you in an endless cycle of searching and not finding. And if you don't understand how these algorithms work, you're not dating, you're being played. So today in this video, I will attempt to break it all down. How dating apps manipulate you into never committing, why they flood you with choices that you will never be satisfied with, how they use psychology to keep you addicted, and most importantly, how to escape and actually learn how to build relationships and genuine connections. By the end of this video, you will never look at dating apps the same way again. Have you ever heard about the paradox of choice? It's very simple actually. The more options you have, the harder it is for you to choose. And the less satisfied you are whenever you pick. Dating apps exploit this at scale. They promise unlimited potential, thousands of matches, endless possibilities. The one has to be somewhere in that mix, right? Wrong. Instead of helping you find love, they keep you searching for it. That's how they make money. You go on a great date, but in the back of your mind, you're still thinking, what if there is someone better? So instead of committing, you keep swiping. And this is not just about dating. This is why most people job hop, because they're not fulfilled. They look at the most unimportant detail and they make an excuse to run. This is why we scroll Netflix for 30 minutes without picking a movie or a show to watch. This is why we spend hours and hours looking at 3 and 5 second videos on Instagram and TikTok that literally have no story or no context. Why we never feel fully satisfied with anything. Now, dating apps know this. They design their system so that you're never fully satisfied, never really committed, and always looking for the next best thing. Because for them, consumption equals conversion. The more you consume the content that they have on their site, which is profiles, people, pictures, videos, the more they convert because they're collecting money from you for all of that interaction on a monthly basis. Or some dating sites actually work on a pay-per-view basis. Think about it this way. If they're pitching you the promise for love and for the one, what if they got paid only if they found the one for you, or only if they found the love of your life? How much money do you think they would make? I call that the value offer paradox. When you believe there is always something or someone better on the other side, and they're only one swipe away, you will never invest in what's right in front of you. And that's how they keep you hooked. Dating apps don't just give you too many choices. They make sure that those choices look unrealistically perfect. But here's the problem. The concept of perfect does not exist. Dating profiles aren't real people. They're just advertisements. You're simply meeting and reading about somebody's representative. Carefully selected photos, flawless angles, perfectly crafted bios, and AI-enhanced filters. It's not reality, it is a sales pitch. And here is where it gets worse. People aren't just picking their best photos anymore. They are digitally altering every single photo, video. So what happens when you really meet in real life for the first time? Disappointment, possibly on both sides. The human being that's sitting right in front of you that you have met from that dating site cannot possibly compete with the polished, algorithm-approved version. And it's not just looks, it's personality as well. Texting lets you edit. You could craft the perfect response. You delete and rewrite messages, and now AI will write those messages for you. But in real life, it's messy, it's awkward, and it's unpredictable. There is no backspace button in a real conversation. And the more we rely on these apps, the harder it is to connect naturally. Because here's the truth, the more time you spend chasing perfection, the more you'll be disappointed with reality. And dating apps want it exactly that way. Because if you were in a relationship and it worked, you would not use the app anymore. You would stop paying them. Instant gratification versus delayed gratification. Let's be brutally honest about what's happening here. Dating apps have turned people into products. Think about it. You're swiping left or right based on a split-second decision. That's not dating, that's shopping. And the more you swipe, the more the algorithm learns about you. What catches your attention, what makes you hesitate, what keeps you coming back. It's not helping you find love. It's training you to treat people as disposable. Don't feel instant chemistry? Swipe. Slight disagreement? Swipe. Someone better might be just a swipe away. So you don't even have to try. The more you treat others as disposable, the more you start seeing yourself exactly the same way. You are not looking for love anymore. You are looking for validation. Let's be real. You are not swiping for love, you're swiping for dopamine. The tiny rush when you get a match. That little buzz when somebody finds you attractive. And dating apps, they know this better than you do. Here is how they engineer your addiction. Variable rewards. Sometimes you get a match, sometimes you don't. That unpredictability keeps you coming back. Scarcity and fear of missing out. Blurred profiles, limited time matches. You are always chasing more. Endless dopamine loops. The more you swipe, the more attention you crave. It's no longer about finding someone, it's about feeding the habit. And what happens when you finally match with someone? That cycle just continues because you have been conditioned to find the next hit. This isn't dating. This is addiction. And if you do not recognize it, you're going to waste years trying to look for validation, then build genuine connections. So what happens when you take infinite choices, impossible standards, and constant validation? And you throw all of this into an actual relationship. You get a culture where commitment is an afterthought. Because dating apps have conditioned people to always think that there is something better out there. Conflict? Swipe away. Boredom? There is always somebody new. Real intimacy? It takes time to build, but instant gratification is so much easier. And slowly you start believing that real relationships should be just effortless. But they are not. They take work, patience, and vulnerability. And the longer you stay trapped in the dating app cycle, the harder it becomes to relearn how to actually build that connection. Now you actually know, you've been informed. Dating apps aren't just failing to help you find your love. They are actively working against you. But here's the good news. You can break free. Stop swiping mindlessly. Use these apps with intention, not with addiction. Meet people in real life. The best connections happen off screen. Reject perfection. Choose authenticity against algorithms. Commit to real effort. Love isn't instant. It takes time to build. And if you're serious about building real relationships, watch my next video about why your lack of masculinity might be hurting your relationships. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe and comment below. We love responding to comments.